Hi, and welcome to this week's Word of the Week. The Word of the Week, charity. Now we're right in the middle of the holiday season, so everybody's thinking about gift giving, and the bell ringers are out collecting money for all sorts of different charities, and people are giving toys and clothes and food and all sorts of stuff. Now let's stop and think though, what does charity really mean? The definition of charity is benevolent goodwill or love of humanity. It also means generosity and helpfulness, especially towards those that are needy or suffering. So let's ask ourselves, do we really express charity? And if you are expressing charity, how do you express it and to who? Because remember, charity is not just about giving money. There are things that are much more important to some people than money. Maybe there's someone who needs your time. Maybe there's someone that really needs your input, your support, your friendship. All of these things can make a difference in a person's life. Now, whatever you give, it's important that it should be given freely and from the heart. Now, I grew up in the church. My dad was a minister, and I always remember as they were passing out the collection plate talking about the fact that when you give, it should be freely and not grudgingly or out of necessity, because God loves a cheerful giver. Well, I think we all love a cheerful giver. Nothing bothers me more than somebody who's giving me something and they kind of have an attitude about it. It's like, oh, I guess I should give this to you. Now, if you're going to give something to someone, give it freely. Give it without expecting anything in return. You give because you want to give, because you know within your heart that that's the right thing to do. So we should give to help ourselves to feel better, not give because if we don't give, somebody's going to make us feel bad. It has to come from the heart, and it has to be genuine. Now, another little saying that we've all heard is charity begins at home. And this is really kind of an interesting one, and we really need to think about it. Because when we think about that definition of charity, about being a benevolent goodwill or love of humanity, the generosity and helpfulness, especially towards the needy or the suffering, we all have needs. And there comes a time in our life when we all suffer. Are you being generous and helpful to yourself? Are you showing goodwill toward yourself? Do you love yourself? Because I'll be really honest with you. If you don't take care of yourself, if you don't love yourself, if you don't show kindness to yourself, if you're not generous to yourself, then you're not going to have anything to give anyone else. So really, at this time of year, think about how can you take care of yourself? How can you take care of those that are close to you? Show charity, show goodwill, show generosity to your immediate friends and family and community. And then how can you expand that out? And also keep in mind, charity should be something that we do every day, not just around the holidays. So everybody, please think about this and keep your heart open to give. And then later this month, we'll talk about receiving as well. All right, we'll see you next time.